Tip number 1. Make sure to complete all events. They are indicated by small icons around your waypoints. Besides loot, in some cases those reward permanent buffs and passive skill points. Look for an event with a plus symbol for the permanent buff reward. For example, this event over here rewards you with a plus 10 to cold resistance. Stick till the end to receive a very special tip that a lot of players don't know. Something to note here and easy to miss is the underground map layout, which you can access by pressing the button on the right. Toggle between above and below ground. This map shows you all available dungeons in that specific region, as well as events. Keep in mind, grayed out event icon means that you have already finished it. Tip number 2. TPs are free. Don't hesitate to port back to town in between fights to quickly refill your flasks. Do so by clicking the well in camps and your flasks will be refilled instantly. Tip number 3. Beware the TP timer. Between 10 and 15 minutes max, your TP will disappear and the area you were in previously will be reset. Tip number 4. Speaking of TPs, make sure to bind your town portal to a key to access it quickly. I have bound mine to mouse 5 for a quick journey back to camp. Tip number 5. Make sure to always check vendors for gear upgrades. After a level up, they refresh their stock. Oftentimes they even have rare items which could be an upgrade for your character. In my case, for example, this quarterstaff literally doubled my DPS and helped me breeze through the rest of the cruel difficulty campaign with ease. Tip number 6. If you would like to see some information about your computer's performance, you can press F1 to show detailed graphs. Press F1 again to only show your latency. Tip number 7. Loot that drop disappear on your death, so make sure to pick it immediately if possible. Upon your death, the area will be reset, monsters will respawn, and your dropped loot disappears. Tip number 8. If you want to farm a certain area or boss, you can do so easily by returning to camp, clicking on your waypoint to open up the map, and control-click on the area you want to reset. You will get this window to show up. Here your current instant of that area is shown, and by clicking New, the area will be reset and you will immediately load into the location to begin your farming. Tip number 9. Organizing your stash tabs in Path of Exile 2 is very easy. You can put items manually in your desired stash tab, or if you want a more advanced organization, go to your according stash tab, right-click it and choose the affinity. In this case, gems. Now it doesn't matter in which stash tab you are. Control left-clicking the gems will automatically put them in your gem stash tab. You can do the same with all your flasks. Here I first disable the affinity to move them manually to stash number 9. But when I activate the flask's affinity, even being on the currency stash tab, all my flasks will automatically be moved to the correct stash tab. Tip number 10. If you have passive points to spend, you can shift-click that desired node to make a small preview window to pop up, which exactly shows you the changes you would receive by selecting that node. This feature can help you determine how much of a boost you would receive. Tip number 11. You can add runes to your socketed equipment, for example, to boost your resistances. In order to do that, you need Artificer's Shards. 10 of those will create an Artificer's Orb, which then can be used to add a socket to weapon or armor. There is actually a very easy way to get those shards. Just go to a vendor and check his inventory for socketed gear. Buy any you can afford. Now use the salvage bench to salvage that item to receive an Artificer's Shard. It's a very fast and reliable way to obtain Artificer's Orb and add sockets to your gear so you can make use of all your runes. Be careful though, once a rune is placed, you cannot remove nor replace it. And now, as promised, here comes a special tip which a lot of people don't know. To quickly identify your items with the hooded one, control left click the NPC and he will immediately ID all your un-ID'd items in your inventory. You can use this to quickly access any NPC's main task and save a lot of time in town. Well, that's it for today's video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and I will see you tomorrow on Twitch.